One of the most concerning pieces of the pandemic is the lopsidedly high pace of fatalities among the old. This permits the infection to spread essentially undetected among more youthful, less defenseless pieces of the populace. You may believe that is something to be thankful for, however it's most certainly not. SARS-CoV-2 can lie undetected and spread far and wide, until it arrives at the more established has and unleashes devastation on them. On the off chance that the manifestations were more extreme and perceptible in their beginning periods, the infection would have had a far harder time arriving at its more established targets. That doesn't imply that the more youthful individuals are invulnerable, however, as a significant number of them have kicked the bucket from the infection, as well. It's something we don't yet totally appreciate, as indicated by our present comprehension of the pandemic. Moderately fit and more youthful people ought not be building up the more genuine side effects. It's a major piece of the bigger inquiry of how the infection influences various individuals from numerous points of view, and noting it is essential to forestalling future, conceivably deadlier flare-ups. The facts demonstrate that the COVID-19 flare-up has disproportionately influenced the principal world, implying that a portion of the world's best medicinal services specialists are presently working diligently attempting to see how it functions. Worryingly, however, that hasn't implied a lot, as the SARS-CoV-2 strain has demonstrated to be unmistakably more hard to comprehend than we ever imagined. At the core of the issue lies the unavoidable issue about the principal organic structure of the infection. While we do realize that it's molded like a spiky ball, with the spikes intended to break into living tissue, precisely how that converts into the ridiculously high pace of its spread stays a riddle. The same number of other generally innocuous infections, including different coronavirus strains, have the capacity to do that, as well. We essentially don't have the foggiest idea what it is about the SARS group of coronaviruses that makes them so lethal to people. Or even, as we'll come to in a piece, how it figured out how to influence people by any means. On the off chance that you study the different pandemics ever, you'd understand that the mystery of the Chinese infection's prosperity isn't its high pace of spread or even fatalities. We've managed far deadlier ailments than this one before. It's no place near the Black Death or the Spanish flu in its demise tally or pace of contamination. It is, notwithstanding, unique in one way. Tainted individuals could approach their lives with gentle or even no manifestations by any means, helping it reach much a bigger number of individuals than any of those infections ever could. It makes, in actuality, a general public loaded with typhoid Marys, or maybe more fittingly for our time, coronavirus Karens. What researchers don't have the foggiest idea, however, is what number of these cases are out there. Now, unmistakably known diseases or famous hotspots can't be exclusively answerable for the storm of cases pouring in constantly. While there have been numerous cases wherein patients with mellow or no side effects were tried positive for the infection, those are just the ones we had the option to test. Individuals with a runny nose or hack tend to not consider it a serious deal, and as indicated by numerous specialists and researchers, they might be the essential purpose for the incredibly fast spread of the infection. Regardless of whether the quantity of cases the world over is developing at a disturbing rate, we can in any event follow the greater part of them to potential wellsprings of the infection. Realizing that an emergency clinic is a hotspot can assist us with isolating and separate the region, contact everybody who may have been in its region during the pandemic, and guarantee that it doesn't contribute towards any more infections. Worryingly, however, we're additionally observing many confounding cases from around the globe with no noticeable course of contamination. For one, a baby in Gujarat India got tainted and passed on in spite of there being no known cases in that whole region. Furthermore, one man in California turned into the principal American to get the infection without coming into contact with any potential host. The science of the infection may assist us with better comprehend its belongings. However, there's as yet the subject of precisely how the SARS-CoV-2 strain figured out how to contaminate people by any stretch of the imagination. While we're no aliens to coronaviruses contaminating individuals, they've constantly required some an opportunity to transform and figure out how to taint new has. The last SARS strain, additionally called SARS exemplary, required some an opportunity to transform in the human body before bringing about any genuine harm. The present infection, in any case, apparently realized how to contaminate and execute as it so happens, as it hasn't changed in any impressive route since the beginning of the pandemic. That doesn't imply that it isn't transforming. However, none of the transformations have had the option to pick up predominance over the first one. Put it thusly, the present SARS-CoV-2 strain doesn't have to change itself to taint more has yet, as is as of now ready to do that absent a lot of exertion.